Okay, so today we're going to work on a fence post out of Hedge or Osage-orange. My brother-in-law took down a fence line, and this was a post that was, gosh, who knows when it was put up. It's very, very old. But Hedge wood or Osage-orange wood is, a very, very hard wood, and I hear that it's kind of hard to turn, so I've kind of been putting it off. Just the natural cracks and everything to it, it has a beauty of its own. So I think I'm going to try another sphere. So I decided, it didn't make any sense to use all of this, so I took the measurements and cut it in half. And when I cut it in half, the cracks that you have here ended up splitting it. I think I'm going to use this side, and we're going to put it down into this bucket. Isn't that some beautiful, beautiful grain? Don't have a color for this. It just is they don't have the names of colors on these. You just look at the bottles and say, ooh, that's a pretty color. We'll see how that turns out. And I'm going to try to leave it fairly translucent so you can see through it. That's if I can behave myself and not keep putting the color in. So, alright, I'm not real sure how long to stir this because this doesn't have directions on it. This is some epoxy that my father had left over. I keep having different epoxies because epoxy is so expensive. So it's hard to do the projects that I do and recoup some of the cost of everything. So some people will give me their leftover epoxies if they don't use it all. Let's pour in, see if it's going to cause it to float or not. And then I'll be running around like a crazy lady. Trying to figure out how to get it to stay down without ruining my design. Alright, so we're between centers. There's a little bit of that void, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to get down to the wood. The wood is what we need to be able to see. Hopefully I've got it fairly centered. Yeah, so we're going to start just getting rid of some of this outside epoxy. See if we can get it round. We're going to try a sphere. I've got a lot to remove off of this end, unfortunately. And hopefully I've got it fairly centered well so I keep that shape that I was going for. But let me get all geared up and we'll get spinning. figure out which way I need to go. Maybe just finding the center of that and going. Alright, so 6 1/4, so 3 1/8. Roughly my center. Let's see if I got the measurement right. Yeah. Put some sanding sealer and some CA glue or something in that. Oh yeah. Okay. The rest of the wood isn't really in that bad a shape. me cut that the rest of the way off. And then we'll get her. Oh man. It's gonna take me forever to saw through this. Come on. Turn loose, my friend. Okay, well, there we will sit. And time to have some patience. If I can find them. Okay. Okay, we're going to start out with 320 and probably go down to the 5,000. Alrighty, let's get her rocking and rolling. Okay, let's stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Think it over. Pretty good, though. Can you see? Okie dokie. So, it's dried. Lunch was good. Now, it's time to go ahead and put some sanding sealer on her. I'm going to kind of start out with wood. So we're going to start out with our Yorkshire Grit Original and then move on to our Microfine. Why did I shut you off? I don't know. I just went up for lunch. Okie dokie. Let's get a move on. Do want to rotate that a smidge. I hate to rotate it a smidge, but if I don't, I can't get that. Nope, I didn't get over far enough, did I? No. A smidge. Going back to okay, I'm not getting anything else off of there. So moving on to the microfine. That's probably enough. Get her even shinier. Okay. Alright, here we go. We are done. We have another sphere. This is using a different kind of epoxy than I typically use. So I do find that it has been harder to finish it as far as, you know, I got most of the scratches out with the wet sanding, but then whenever I went back, any kind of impression like putting it between the cups here, that left an indentation in the epoxy, and I usually don't have that a problem with most of the epoxies I use. So this must still be a smidge soft. Curious to see if it makes a difference. I may have to put a different type of finish on it to kind of protect that from getting super scratched, or, you know, something on those lines. Anyway, wasn't terrible. I was afraid of Hedge. I thought Hedge was super hard and going to be hard to turn. Now, granted, I didn't really use a bowl gouge on it at all. I mean, I did do some shear scraping with the bowl gouge, but I didn't find it that hard. Somebody had told me that Hedge was a very, very hard wood. Now, maybe it's because I do a lot of oak and hickory and things like that that are also hard. Definitely a beautiful color of wood. You know, you've got your yellows into your browns. Yeah, you know. Yep, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to watch me, and you know, if you've stayed all the way to the end, I want to thank you extra special for subscribing to me and watching me and everything. I got into wood turning and watched a lot of YouTube videos to learn how to do wood turning, and I fell in love with it. I hadn't been at the lathe maybe twice, and I was just like, yeah, this is something. So this is something for me. I love being able to show off what my pieces look like in the end. You know, you feel kind of like you're an artist when you get done thinking about your design, putting your epoxies and your woods together, and then turning the piece somewhat what you had thought about. Sometimes the piece tells you what to do, but sometimes you get to do what you want to do. So yeah, I mean, I've been amazed and always excited whenever I finished, you know, some of my projects and said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I just usually love most of my pieces. I know I'm pretty critical of myself and maybe things that I could have done better, but I think we can always learn. And I don't think, that's a bad thing, to understand your faults and, always grow and learn from them. Yeah. So thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. That helps me out. It's free. Give me the old thumbs up if you liked the video, and if you didn't, that's okay. Tell me if there's something I can do better or different, or if you have any questions, I don't mind answering them. So you guys take care, and we'll see you on the flip side.